Guys, my name is Ankush Gaurav and I welcome you to Contour series. In this tutorial, we are going to learn about a very important REST API testing tool, very popularly known with the name POSTMAN. So let's start. Guys, so far in the REST series, I've showed how to design and develop these two simple REST APIs and which tool we used in all earlier tutorials to test these simple REST APIs? Well, our very own Google Chrome browser, a standard browser as a testing tool. So how a standard browser allows you to test a REST API? Well, it has got an address bar. You need to type the REST API which you want to test like this. And then how it works when you press enter. Because when you press enter, by default, a standard browser makes a HTTP GET type of request on the REST API, which you type in the address bar of it. So when I press enter, the browser is going to make a HTTP GET type of request on that REST API. And this is how it has fetched the desired response from the server. Now, how to test this second REST API? Well, this second REST API also demands clients to make a HTTP GET type of request on it so as to fetch the desired response from the server. So I would need to follow the same procedure to test this second REST API, as what I followed for testing the first REST API. So I would type here the REST API, and when I'm going to press enter, the browser has made a HTTP GET type of request on it to fetch the desired response from the server. Guys, try to understand. In the subsequent tutorials, I would talk and discuss about how to design and develop more complex REST APIs, kind of REST APIs which demands clients to make HTTP put kind of requests on them, or HTTP post kind of requests on them, or HTTP delete kind of requests on them, or any other HTTP kind of requests other than the standard GET type of requests on them. So question is, how to test such complex REST APIs? Well, we cannot test such complex REST APIs using a standard browser tool, because a standard browser tool would only allow you to test, those REST APIs which demands clients to only make GET type of requests on them. See, when I write here a REST API and when I press enter, it's going to make a HTTP GET type of request on the REST API which I type here. So what about post type of request? What about put type of request? What about other type of HTTP requests other than standard GET type of requests? Well, for that, we need some kind of a sophisticated REST API testing tool. In the market, there are a lot of such sophisticated REST API testing tools available, like SOAP UI, RESTlet client, POSTMAN, etc. But it's very difficult to comment which tool is better over other one, because every tool has got some feature in it which distinguish it from its counterparts. But still, I suggest to go ahead with POSTMAN, maybe because it's so simpler in comparison to others for carrying out with the testing tasks for development of REST APIs. So let's do one thing. Let's install POSTMAN first in our computer, and later we'll learn how to make use of it to test our REST APIs. So to install it, go to Google and type here POSTMAN official website. So this is the official website of POSTMAN REST API tool. Guys, POSTMAN REST API testing tool app is available for almost all important operating systems like Mac, Windows, Linux. But if you are using Google Chrome, as a browser to browse through internet or web, then I suggest you to click on this option, because it's going to add Postman app as an extension to your existing Google Chrome browser. So let's choose this option. Here it has taken us to Chrome Web Store, and here we are required to click on this Add to Chrome button. So once we click on Add App, what it's going to do, it's going to add Postman app to your existing Google Chrome browser as an extension to it. Cool! It has added Postman app as an extension to our existing Google Chrome browser. Now let's launch this app to use it. To do so, I just need to click on this button, Launch App, and it's going to launch Postman REST API testing tool for us. To use it, you may sign up with your existing Google account, or if you don't want to sign up, you can straight go to the app by choosing this option, Take Me Straight to the App. And here is the Postman REST API testing tool, which we were waiting for so long. Guys, if you look at the Postman REST API testing tool, you would find that it's more or less similar to that of our standard browser, except the point that in a standard browser you have only an address bar, but here you have a lot of other options available. Like from this drop down, you can select what type of HTTP request you want to make on a specific REST API, which you are going to type here in the address bar of it, get, post, put, or whatever. And in addition to that, you have a lot more other options available, kind of advanced options available. So if you want to attach any headers, along with the request by adding kind of key value pairs with that, or you want to add any authorization details with the request, or you want to create a pre-request script, or you want to create kind of test suite. So there are a lot of advanced features available in Postman. Please understand that in this tutorial, my main aim is to introduce you to Postman and not talk about all these advanced kind of features like headers, authorization, pre-request, script, test, etc. So let's do one thing. Let's keep this tutorial short and crispy. So here I'm not going to describe all advanced features, what I'm pointing at right now, but I would use Postman to only test the REST APIs which we developed in earlier tutorials only, means these two REST APIs. And in the subsequent tutorials, when I'm going to design and develop more complex REST APIs, that time I'm going to show how to make use of these advanced features of Postman to carrying out with the testing tasks for those kind of REST APIs. So to test this REST API, I simply need to paste the REST API here, and because this REST API demands clients to make HTTP GET type of request on it, so I need to choose here GET option, which happens to be the first choice, and then make a request. So for that, I have to click on this send button. As soon as I click on send button, it's going to make HTTP GET request on this REST API, and is going to then contact the server and is going to fetch the desired response. Cool. It has worked as what we were expecting. Guys, here if you observe in the response message, this is the response message, you would find here a lot of other options. Like in addition to body, you can see cookies, headers, and a lot of options are available here, which definitely I'm not going to talk about right now, which I'm going to take up in the subsequent tutorials. But in this tutorial, let's concentrate on how to make use of Postman to test these two REST APIs, these two simple REST APIs. Okay. Now let's test another REST API. For that, I have to type the REST API over here, and this also demands to make HTTP GET type of request on it. So I would choose GET option from this list, which happens to be the first choice, and I'm going to click on send button. So it has made HTTP GET request on it and has got this desired response from the server. Guys, in this tutorial, my main aim was to just introduce Postman REST API testing tool and all its advanced features I'm going to talk about while designing and developing advanced REST APIs in the subsequent tutorials. Alright, guys, a big thank you for learning REST API concepts using Spring MVC framework with me. If you have any feedback or any constructive comment, please provide them below the video or simply write to me using this email ID. Please hit the like button if you really liked this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel Gone To series, and I'm gonna catch you in the next part of this tutorial.